If you think that you wasted time with an ex, then you need to stick around for this video because I'm gonna tell you a story to make you feel quite a little bit better. So let me take you back to 2020. I had just graduated Manchester Met Uni with a first class degree in PR and marketing, which was amazing. One of the best experiences of my life was going to uni. Um, Not that it helped in the sense that I had obviously graduated Manchester. I was going to live in Manchester for another year with my boyfriend at the time, and I was looking for any sort of entry level marketing role. If you're anything like me, you might be thinking, I'm going to go to uni, but you might have friends that have gone straight into office life and started their own jobs, which means that you are very aware of the difference between an entry level salary and a salary after you've been there for a good few years. So I found it quite daunting to accept my first role, and I literally felt like I could have earned more in the restaurant that I was working in Manchester. So that was a bit of a challenge for me to overcome. And then fast forward to when I was actually working at this role, I was looking at moving back home to London. And at the time, I was speaking to my ex who worked in recruitment, and he completely put me off and said that I would never be able to do sales. And I spent the next 2 years actually believing him. So I moved home. I actually took a pay cut to move back to London. I'm just relaxing in this chair. I actually took a pay cut to move back to London, which is a bit ridiculous, but that is exactly what sort of set me up on my journey to where I am today. And yeah, for the next 2 years, I was just anti-sales. I made sure that I got a job as a marketing exec because I thought I couldn't do anything else. And it was only when I was looking at starting to onboard freelance marketing clients on the side of my role as a marketing executive, because I was not getting a pay rise and I could not afford to move out of my parents, then that is when I was introduced to appointment setting, which is, funnily enough, online sales. But the funny thing is, funnily enough, and funny thing is that it's not salesy. Like, if for me, when my ex had said, "Oh, like you won't be able to do it," like it's very commission based, it's very heavy, um, like it's just full on, like there's a lot of pressure. It really did put me off, and I thought, yeah, that isn't a bit of me. I like to do like my social media calendar. I like to see a lot of branding. I like to have a bit of a mind map. I like to have some team meetings. I like for everyone to be working as a team. And then anyway, I am now working in sales, and not only that, I am actually teaching people how to do appointment setting. So it's really a full circle moment. And when I think back to the fact that I would completely cut off any opportunities for 2 years because one person told me that I couldn't work in sales, it's like mad. And even when I was looking at side hustles, I would avoid anything sales based. The reason that I got into appointment setting is because my friend actually introduced me, who I really trust, and she had started her own boutique marketing agency. And she just said if I was to start again, I would learn appointment setting and offer this to clients because the client retention's so good. You can showcase your worth, which is everything that the way that my ex has structured it made me fearful of the fact that you could prove your worth. But when you're good at it, oh my God, it's amazing. Like, I went through 2 years in my office role in London where I was consistently just like begging for a pay rise or a promotion. And because I couldn't improve a financial, um, direct financial implementation, oh my God, sorry, a direct, what's it called? Like my influence on the business financially, because I'd be doing marketing activations that might be looking at brand awareness, that might literally be looking at how many people we can get to come from a certain company, that might be looking at just like positive feedback because it was B2B marketing. So I can never really say, well, what I specifically, individually, and all on my own did generated this amount. Like, I couldn't do that. So this is what really appealed to me about appointment setting. And honestly, I got onto the call and I was like, I have no idea what this is. And I finished that call and I still didn't really have a strong understanding. And that's where all of like all of the training and mentorships and everything have come into place. But it's just always funny when you think back to where you were once in life. And I guess this is like for anyone that has ever thought, I can't do sales because it's too manly, or I can't do sales because that's too far out of reach, or anything out of reach. Like, you can do whatever you want, because who would have thought that two not 2 years, 4 years later, I would have started my own online sales academy. Oh my God, I literally just can't get over that. And I remember the conversation so clearly. And I remember actually speaking to my mum and dad about it. Like, do you think I could do sales? And they said no as well. So it's like, even if the odds are stacked against you and everyone's almost saying, like, I'm not sure that's for you, it could be the most transformational change in your life. Because if I hadn't gone into sales, I'm not sure I would be such a confident speaker. Like, don't get me wrong, I love to yap, but I've had the experience over the last 2 years since appointment setting of handling client relationships, of actually independently owning my business, owning my schedule, training people, coaching people, giving them that insight, networking. Like, everything falls down to you when you start your own online business, and the amount you grow as a person is insane. But yeah, I'm feeling very like businessy on my dad's chair in his office. So I hope you enjoyed my story time, and I hope that makes you think, whatever stupid comment your boyfriend makes or ex-boyfriend, you can and have every power in you to prove them wrong. But yeah, I'll see you next time.